What is up, guys? It is the Sports Sir Bradley Walker, and welcome to the Walker Report, part of In the Zone Sports Talk Radio, part of NGSC Sports. Guys, remember the website. It's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. The show is sponsored by creatingzenspaces.com, local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida, for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you and adding comfort to your life. Remember, guys, Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome back. I was out of town last Thursday. That's why we did not have a show. But we are back in it now. And we're going to start the show off with a non-sports topic. But I have one of my co-hosts, so I'm going to bring him on here real quick.
Good evening. Good evening.
I don't know anything about Adam. He hasn't messaged me if he was going to be on or not, so I don't know yet. The topic that I was referring to, obviously, is the school shooting that happened in Texas on Tuesday. 19 children were killed.
And two teachers.
Two teachers were killed. Very sad story, guys, because and I'm not saying, no matter how young or old kids are, but when you take away second, third, and fourth graders' lives, that's not a good thing. Plain and there's Adam. Plain and simple, it's not a good sign because those kids don't even know what life is. No. You're 7, 8, 9 years old, and you don't even know what life is, and they've had them, that taken away from them like that. Yeah. And to have, I guess, the kid that did this all kind of was on social media talking about it. I guess he killed his grandmother before he went to the school, killed the kids and the teachers. So I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about that. I know we don't really talk about a lot of politics and that stuff on here, but I kind of wanted to open up and give my heart, prayers and condolences to the families that were all affected, whether they lost a child or lost a teacher or a significant other in that tragic thing that happened on Tuesday. Again, guys, we don't talk a lot of politics on here, but we do talk about mental health. And I know Adam talked about that a bunch of times about, going and get help. If you need help, go get it, ask for it. And maybe this kid obviously needed mental help to go and do what he did. And so anybody out there, that needs mental help, please, you can even contact us. I mean, we're here. Absolutely. You can throw us a Facebook message. We will be more than happy to talk.
Absolutely.
Because we gotta get away from these kind of events that happened on Tuesday and stuff like that. I just wanted to say that. The show.
There's no solution. There's because even if you try to get help and you don't feel like you're being heard, or you refuse to help. I've heard too many stories about these types of things where they've been prescribed things and they go off their meds and they have a break with they've got a break with reality, and the voices in their head tell them to go do whatever.
Right.
Whether it be a mass shooting or just murder. David Berkowitz, son of Sam, heard voices in his head that told him to kill people. So, if you're prescribed medicine for your, nobody says, sorry, I'm fighting with the camera because my laptop's not working right. The internet's down on my laptop, but it's up on my phone. So figure that one out. But, just to kind of put a point on this, is that just because you're being offered, just because you go get help doesn't mean that once you start feeling better, you can stop. If you have a chronic condition, if you have a broken arm, you get it fixed, and once it's better, you're good. But if it continues to bother you, you have to get regular follow-ups. And the thing about it is that with mental health, is that people don't like to talk about mental health because you can't see it. You know, if you have a problem, you know, if you have let's say I know it's not a, it's, you know, if you have jaundice, you know, it's a disease, right?
Yes.
If you have a disease like jaundice, right, you can get treatment for it, it'll clear up. But if you don't take the steps to prevent it in the future, then it's going to return.
Right.
And the same thing is, but the thing about jaundice is versus, you know, is people can see it, right? It's real. With mental health, you can't see someone having a break with reality until they shoot up a school or blow up a school. And people want to talk about these things. Like, it doesn't matter. They're gonna do it regardless of what policies. You know, murder is still illegal regardless. You know, murder doesn't suddenly become legal. You know, murder's been illegal since the beginning of, you know, written law. You know, it's been 4,000 years. Murder's never been legal. And writing more laws, writing new laws, isn't going to stop somebody from committing mass murder just because they want to, whether they had a break with reality or they're just a terrible person. Taking away other people's rights is not gonna stop them from. It's not gonna stop somebody new from committing mass murder. They're just gonna change the way they do it. Oklahoma City used fertilizer to blow up the building.
Right.
Taking away my rights, taking away your rights, taking away anybody's rights is not going to fix the problem. The problem is that people need to get help, and when they get help, they need to continue to get help. I think that's the biggest thing is that these people Lanza, the Connecticut shooter, the guy that of Las Vegas shooting, I think the Virginia detection, they were all prescribed prescription psychotropic drugs, and they stopped taking them, and they had a break with reality, and they committed horrible crimes. And you know, we know that institutionalizing people, there's such a stigma against institutionalizing people because people were brutalized by institutions back in the day. You know, they weren't seen as real people.
Right.
And you know, we forget about, you know, the fact that playing sports is fun and enjoyable, watching people play sports, and whether it be something as silly as watching people play cornhole or watching people take a race car, drive it 200 miles an hour at inches apart. You know, whether it's the most physically demanding, whether it be something like air racing is crazy, and or, you know, these you know, and kind of when to segue into a different kind of to segue into a different topic, but to still on the is that you know, we got to remember that they're people too. You know, I was just thinking about this, trying to, you know, the Nazem Kadri thing from the other night. You know, stop making death threats. Stop being racist. I don't think that people are actually racist, right? I just think they're being mean. I don't think people are actually being racist. Sorry, don't think that that's what's happening. I just think they're being mean. They're being ugly just to try to hurt the guy's feelings and make him feel bad for what he did. And, you know, whether you think he did anything wrong or not, you know, it's not right to try and, you know, to death threats, racial epithets, anything like that is just bad. Stop it. Let's just stop that. It's just a game. Life goes on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, I don't know why, but I've been obsessed with 9/11 here the last couple of days. And, you know, this you know, those kids, those families are gonna have to bury the kids, right? All the victims of any tragedy. You know, last Friday, there was a tornado in my hometown, and it killed 2 people and injured 40 some others. You know, at the end of the day, they have real world consequences for what happened to their families. They're gonna have to have funerals. They're gonna have medical bills. They're gonna have to deal with real life shit. And we're watching people play games for fun and profit. You know, whatever happens in the game is just It's just game. Yeah, does it suck if you lose? Sure, of course. Does it stink if your guy gets run over and gets hurt by somebody being an idiot? Absolutely. And in my opinion, I think what Kadri did was wrong. I thought it was goaltender interference, and I thought he should have been at least penalized on the play.
Right.
But that doesn't give you the right to call him names for no good reason, or to threaten his life or his family's life.
No.
You know, it's just a game, guys. It's just a game.
Well, but I happen.
Some people.
Well, I was going to say I happened to run into a friend of mine who's a big, actually, buddy. He's from Michigan, like you are. He's a big Red Wings fan and fan as well. And he, I talked to him on Wednesday night. I hung out with him and his wife. I met his wife at my former job, and they're my good friends. And he mentioned to me we had again, like we were watching I'm watching Game 5 of the Rangers and the Hurricanes. We watched Game 4, in which the Rangers won that game. Yeah. But we were talking about the Kadri thing, and he said, you know what's different about the National Hockey League is it's a shame because the shield is for everybody. There's never been a racial issue in the National Hockey League that has come up like this one, where a guy is being sent death threats and racial things. I like the way that Kadri handled it. He went into St. Louis. He gets a hat trick. He doesn't let, He doesn't let it bother him. Right. He doesn't let it bother him. He wasn't scared. He still did his job. At the end of the day, he did his job. And again, the Avalanche are now, I think they put them on the brink of elimination. I think tomorrow night, will be
Game 6.
Game 6.
Yeah.
Put them away and move on to the Western Conference Finals.
I thought they were going to put them away last night, but St. Louis just kept coming.
Are they in St. Louis tomorrow night for Game 6?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Game
so now
6
the Blues have a chance to flip it back.
Yeah,
and go back to Colorado with the series tied.
You would think had McKinnon scored that hat trick, that would have been over. I mean, it was only like 2 minutes to go in the game. It's a game over right there. And then,
I went to bed because I thought it was over.
Didn't we all?
I rolled over to go to sleep, right? And next thing I know, it's tied at 4.
The Rangers just scored a goal. They're up 2-1. They're up 2-1.
Love it.
Well, if they can beat Carolina at home, because no one's beat them at home during the playoffs, so
yeah. So far, everybody's won at their home ice.
Yes. Correct.
Series. And Carolina's only won at home.
At home, they can't win on the road, and they've never won on the road during the whole.
They're 6-5 in the playoffs. And only 2 wins are on, or all 6 of their wins are at home.
I
haven't been feeling great.
It's a place like home, but
right.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if you wanted, we were talking about great arenas in hockey with my friend, and he had mentioned
it's got to be up there.
3 were the Joe, Maple Leaf Gardens, and Madison Square Garden were the 3 that he picked as tough arenas to play in, and where you have a home field advantage.
Definitely at home ice all the way.
If you believe in that, I don't know if I
do. Absolutely, 100%.
You do?
There's nothing like Game 7 at home. Nothing like Game 7.
Lou, you can't tell me that a Game 7 at MSG isn't going to. And I've been in that arena.
Well,
you can't tell me that place would be electric.
Well, they have lost in Game 7 at home, and I mean, even though it's a different area, I mean, what about the Suns 2 weeks ago? They lost at home to Dallas. They didn't get beat. They got.
Yeah, but I'd
rather
be at home than on the road.
So
well, I mean, speaking of someone getting their clock clean, look about the Florida Panthers. How about that?
Yeah. Now you're not a Panthers fan, right?
No.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Just the Lightning. Well, congratulations.
Just the Lightning. I didn't think they were going to sweep them. I thought that they were going to win in like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But I never in my right mind thought they were going to sweep them.
I'll be honest. I thought the Panthers were going to take the series.
And you know what? They took the goal away, Lou.
You dirty dog.
They took the goal away.
My ass.
Now that's what they're claiming. The officials said that it was offsides. But I'm still surprised that the Lightning swept them. And on top of that, when you held, the highest scoring team in the NHL to get 3 goals in 4 games. So
didn't I say it all?
Adam said that too. Doesn't matter how many goals you score during the regular season. It comes down.
Game changes. Game changes in the playoffs, man. I said it for the last 2 weeks of the regular season. I don't trust this. I don't trust the team with the most goals because they don't win. They don't win in the playoffs.
They're reviewing it.
Reviewing it again. Well, here's the thing too. Let me ask you this guy's question: who was the last President's Trophy to win the Stanley Cup?
It's been a while.
Red Wings in '98.
Nope. It's not that far back.
I was Pittsburgh in 16.
Nope. Earlier than that.
Tampa Bay in 2020.
No, we were.
It was in 2019.
The 2012-2013 Blackhawks were the last.
That's right.
The President's Cup to win the cup.
I knew I knew it, but I didn't know it.
I mean, the 2016 would have been close. That would have been something along those lines.
But
here's my it's my neighbor that lives right above me.
Hey, you've got it actually up here where we can see his name now, and I don't have to go look. Excellent.
Yeah, I think I'll be honest with you, bud. I think the people that write the comments can put their name there. Some people choose not to.
Yeah.
Because I've seen other shows where they have their names there. And then, but yeah, he asked us who the Lightning will play. I
can tell you, honestly, it'll be Carolina or New York.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
That's all I can tell you. Carolina and New York. It's been a great series, in my opinion. Man, is it just me, or has this been some of the best playoffs in
absolutely.
a while? And not just in the NHL, but in the NBA too.
I was going to say the NBA's been exciting. NBA's been exciting.
Except for a couple of drubbings in the NBA, like Game 7, Suns and Mavs. Every game's been fantastic. It's been compelling from start to finish, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Mavs, they're playing tonight, right? Against
it tips off here in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
9 o'clock?
Yeah, just after 9.
I wonder though, if Morant wasn't hurt, would Memphis make it to the No. Okay.
No, I think Golden State was gonna run them anyway. Right. It seemed like Morant was the only guy Memphis had.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was the only one that showed up. And
when he went down, they did. I mean, they didn't do squat.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It would have helped, but not having him, I don't think not having him.
Oh, what a save!
Hurt as much as having him would have helped. I just think Golden State was that much better, regardless of whether he played or not.
I honestly, with the Hurricanes and the Rangers, I don't know.
I think it's going to go 7.
I think it's going to go 7 too. I really do. Honestly, I think it will go 7 games.
Yeah, I do too.
And whoever wins Game 7 is going to move on.
Well, that we know.
That's the truth right there. That's like the
no question about that.
Truth right there.
Hard hitting analysis that I bring to this show.
I've been asked that a couple times, like, who do you want to face? The Hurricanes are a lot like Florida. They play their high scoring team.
Yeah.
Their goaltending is not.
Their goaltending's a little suspect, especially on the road.
The Rangers have the better goaltending, but they have weaknesses too. So I think
the Rangers are a more balanced team.
Yes,
I agree. Better offense and defense. Carolina has a much better offensive attack, but the Rangers play a much more balanced game. They're better defenders than Carolina is.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
If Carolina jumps up to 2 or 3 goals, then look out because they could get 6. But if New York can hold them to 1 or 2, New York can find 3 and win a game.
Correct. Yeah. So
Okay,
I mean,
so I got one.
and then
What were you say?
well, I was gonna say then you have the Western Conference. The Avalanche have St. Louis on the brink, and then you
We
have
got to get it done tomorrow.
Edmonton. Edmonton has Calgary on the brink. I mean, Connor McDavid in the Western Conference Finals. Oh my lord!
About time.
About
Oh
time.
my lord!
The Battle of Alberta.
Or let's say that they somehow win it and they go to the Stanley Cup. That's been a long time since Edmonton's been there, since the Gretzky Messier days.
And a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I'm sorry. They were in the 2006 finals.
2006. Yeah. They haven't won it since 90. And they played the Carolina Hurricanes in 06.
They played the Carolina Hurricanes in 2006.
Yeah.
Um,
Not much of a
series. I got one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last shot, Game 7, NBA Finals. Last shot, Game 7, NHL Finals. Bottom of the ninth, two on, 2 out, down to your last strike, down by a run, Game 7, World Series. Which one do you think is the which one do you want?
Wow.
That's
all three are dramatic moments.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really an honest answer to that question, because any of those three, I mean, the hardest trophy in sports to win is the Stanley Cup.
Exactly.
That's hands down. So if it was a Game 7 last shot for that, now you go back to baseball, that's the longest season. You have 162 regular season games. You got to go through the playoffs. Say you go through 7 games in each of your series. Yeah, that's hard. I mean, that's a lot of baseball that you have to play to get to that.
No pressure.
I'd say the NHL Game 7. I don't think there's anything.
Give you a shot. Give me one last shot.
Baseball. I think I gotta say MLB.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going NHL too. I want that last shot. In on a breakaway.
And nothing against the NBA. Nothing against the NBA either, because that's tough to win a championship as well. To go through it and win it all to them too.
Well, wait. What about football? You're down. The fourth down. It's like say 4 and a mile away, and you throw a bomb and you throw the game time touchdown. So
God, yeah.
Well, you can throw that too. You can
7-game series. Yeah.
Bad game perception.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you could put those 4 scenarios there. I mean, that's something that can be debated for the whole show.
Oh.
We can go debating the ups. I mean, if you guys want to do something like that in the future, let me know, because we can have a debate show where we can debate things like that. And
I might put this on my show.
Yeah,
you bring it up on your show. I was just thinking about
for the ride, guys.
Coming off of 4.
There you see. There's another
one. Outside at Daytona, coming to the line in the 500.
Yeah, there's another one.
We got Monaco in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis
in the afternoon. Charlotte at night.
Yep.
Back.
Monaco for your for brunch. Indianapolis for your Sunday dinner, and the Coca-Cola Center for dessert.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Monaco's
breakfast. That's the way I do it.
That's the way you got to do it, man. It's so glad. I'm so glad Monaco's back on Memorial Day weekend. Because the last 2 years, 2020 was, understandable. I understand. Last year it was the week before Memorial Day.
Dumb.
I hated it.
Dumb.
This year they had Spain the week before, and now this week they're in Monaco.
Nothing wrong with Spain. I don't think it's Spain.
Yeah, mostly rains on the plane in Spain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it. But no. But But we think about it because Indy, I think is the beginning of the summer.
Indy's gonna. Have you watched any practice from Indy this year?
I haven't seen any practice. I haven't been that fortunate.
They are absolutely flying. They are screaming.
I'm sure.
They turned a lap of 2:44.
Yeah. So wait, it is going to be Coca-Cola 600 because I heard it was going down to 400.
No, it's 6.
Okay, because I heard a rumor was going to down to 400.
No.
Okay, then somebody lied.
Yeah, I don't know whoever that was, but they didn't have their information.
Somebody, I don't know who it was, but somebody said, "Oh, it shrunk down to 400." Gee, what a jip!
No.
Why are you gonna do a Pepsi call at 500 or something? Come on.
They might have. They might have to shorten it with the way the gas prices are, though.
Yeah.
Burn
your rubber.
Yeah.
When are you gonna do a Pepsi Cola at 600? That's all I want to know, huh? Come on.
Pepsi lost
here.
it.
Here you go. Here, sponsor.
Hey.
Come on, Pepsi, sponsor us.
Thanks a lot.
I am drinking Mountain Dew. I'm drinking the Mountain Dew Spark.
Okay. My big mouth.
It's actually pretty good.
Hey, speaking of that, I just went today because in my area, Publix is running a buy two get two for Pepsi. Ooh. I like Code Red and Mountain Dew. I bought 4 12-packs of Code Red.
Love Code Red. Code Red's awesome. I remember when they first introduced Code Red. I was great.
Oh, right.
I used to drink Live Wire too. I used to drink
Live Wire is good. Voltage.
Yeah, the orange.
Oh, I had Live Wire. Right. I forgot about that.
Carolina scores. Carolina scores a power play goal.
Well, this one counts.
Call it back.
They were doing that in Game 7 or Game 4 of the Lightning Panthers series. The Lightning got 2 goals called back.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Puck off the netting. Puck.
Yeah.
So hey, anything can happen in the playoffs.
Absolutely. But no,
NASCAR's in Charlotte. Indianapolis. The Indies are in Indianapolis, and where Monaco is what? Is that Formula
F1.
1? F1?
Yes, Formula 1.
I haven't seen any practice from Monaco yet, but Connor Daly at Indy went off into 3 at 244.
Jesus.
Miles an hour. Not kilometers, miles an hour. 244 miles an hour.
Breaking the sound barrier again, huh?
Jeez. Lifted, got back on it, came off before at 234. It's absolutely insane. They're gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna be watching like this the whole day, man.
I cannot imagine driving a car 244 miles an hour.
Even there,
it's a glorified
it one way or the other, you're dead. You're dead.
Gone.
You're
over.
Dead. You're dead.
It's over. Gone.
Yeah,
it's gonna be insane. I don't know what they're gonna. I don't even know, man. It's gonna be insane.
I think I want to know.
Sunday's gonna be insane, and then of course Monaco is Monaco, and Monaco is the most. I play F1 on the on my Xbox, and Monaco's the only track I stick.
You know what? You guys are forgetting one thing though. You're not doing it right. You're saying about Sunday. No. You're doing it wrong. It's Sunday. We got 3 big races on Sunday. First Monaco, Indianapolis, the closing 100. Be there. Sunday. I had to do it.
No, that's cool. No, that's fine.
Indeed.
That's fine.
But
I'm just nuts.
It's gonna be. I don't know. I was talking to my dad about it. And I was showing him some footage from practice, and we were watching qualifying together, and they're there screaming. Sure. I don't know. 33 cars at Indy going 240, and I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Indy.
Here it's supposed to be nice after Saturday, but I think Indy might be the same.
Weather report. Currently 70.
Weather for the Indianapolis 5.
Scattered showers.
Calling for 70, 85 degrees is the high.
Did he get hit in the head? What I missed? Did he get hit in the head? Was that a? Why is he stopping play?
Something happened. He's bleeding.
Ooh,
he's got blood coming out of his mouth.
Oh, great. We're gonna get penalized now.
Is it the flag drops at 12:45, right? Is that what I'm reading?
Jarvis is going
out. That's right.
Who gets the penalty?
Oh, that's
for the goal.
It looks like it's going to be
80. Way to go, stupid.
85. 85 is the high.
Yeah.
For the high in Indianapolis.
It won't get that. It's only going to be in the upper 70s for race time, so it'll be fairly cool. Meyer wins out of the southwest. 14 miles an hour out of the southwest. That's going to be out of the south, I should say.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy, though.
Sponsored by the Weather Channel.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm not sure how the speedway is oriented northwest, southeast, and that if it's facing north, if it's north and the wind's blowing out of the south, and if the backstretch is south, you're gonna see speeds in the 240s off into 3 and 4 all day. Good God, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
You don't think we'll see 250, do you? You don't,
probably. Well, maybe because they had a 5 mile an hour tailwind the other day when they hit 244.
5 miles an hour.
They might be able to hit 240, 250.
It's nothing.
Good God!
I just can't imagine going 250 miles an hour in a car.
Off into a corner.
Yeah. And then hoping
funny cars hit 340, but it's a straight line and it's a quarter mile.
Like this.
Hoping your tires and everything hold together going into that turn or going into that straightaway.
Hope you hold it.
Yeah, praying to God that nothing bad.
Yep.
Nothing bad happens, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk a little golf since the PGA Championship was over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Finish.
I have an article on NGSC if you want to head over there, and I'm not going to brag, but I picked Justin Thomas to win. I'm not going to brag about that, but I did pick. He was due. It was time for him to win one. I know he's won. That's the second major in his career. He's won the PGA twice.
Okay.
And the comeback was 7 down. Wow.
7 shots down in the final round. I feel bad, though, for the kid that had the lead after he duck hooks his ball into the water hazard on the 18th hole.
Yeah.
Had he not done that, we would be talking about a kid from Chile winning the PGA Championship.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he
should have been
out of bounds and knocked it in the water.
Do you think he was playing the last hole too aggressively?
Well, if you go back and watch the swing, I don't know. To me, I think it's a pressure. I think when you are not used to leading a major, and I think the pressure got to him. Honestly, I really do. I think
2-on-1 developing.
He knew going into he was on the last hole. I think he had a 1-shot lead, and I think the pressure got to him. And he just hit the worst shot of the week on the 18th hole.
Yeah, when you can't hit your worst shot, when the one day you can't hit the worst shot of your career, that's when you hit it.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, but it was good to see Justin Thomas win.
Yeah.
Will Zalatoris, another kid that's on the up and come too. He's been in a lot of the majors all year this year. Roy McIlroy, I guess, got pissed and left the media, went through the media tent. And
can you blame him?
Stop and see. He had a bad final round.
Oh, yeah.
He had a bad weekend because he was in the lead after day one. He led the tournament after day one.
Right.
And he had a bad weekend, unfortunately. And again, the one major that has evaded him is the Masters. He hasn't won the Masters yet. He's won he's won an Open Championship. He's won a U.S. Open. He's never won the Masters, and he had an 8-shot lead, and he let it slip away on Sunday. 8-shot lead in Augusta and let it slip away.
8-shot lead. How do you blow that?
If you go back and watch it, he had everything out of bounds. Everything. We all had those days on the golf course where nothing goes right. Well, that just happened every day.
But you have an 8-stroke lead either.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've never had an 8-stroke lead at a major, so I've never had a good day on the golf course in terms of score.
You're right.
I mean, I've never had a bad day on the course because a bad day at the golf course is better than a good day at work.
Right.
But I'm lucky to break 90 on 9. So.
Wow.
Well, obviously the former champion Phil Mickelson was not in the field.
Right.
He is still dealing with involvement with the Saudi Arabia backed league.
The fallout, as it were.
Lee Westwood's another guy that didn't play in the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
His
like 3-on-1
involvement as well.
Trying to get too cute with it. God damn
So
it.
those two guys were out of it. And then we have a celebrity tournament next Wednesday.
Yes, it could be fun. They should have played it on Monday.
Brady and Rogers versus Mahomes and Allen.
Yeah.
They should have done it Monday.
Oh, that's the match, right?
A full 18.
Match, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is number 6. This
Could be.
is the 6th match they've done. So
I'll check it out. I'll tune in. I'll check it out. Brady's playing, so
they've already started the shit talking between each other already.
Of course.
It's Brady.
Now here's my only dilemma. I don't know how they're only playing 12 holes. I don't know why they're not doing the full 18. They're playing on the only golf course on the Vegas Strip. Where does Tiger Woods stand this year?
Not good.
Not good. Tiger's leg. I mean, he did withdraw from PGA Championship.
The third round, yes.
After his worst round ever in his career at a major.
And where he's already won over there.
He's got to let that leg heal. I doubt we'll see him in the U.S. Open. He needs to rest, come back in the Open Championship at St. Andrews, which surprisingly is flat. It's not that hilly of a golf course in where the game began in Scotland. But he knows that golf course very well. Tiger has won a lot in St. Andrews. He knows that golf course a lot. So for me, Tiger needs to take a month off or maybe a month and a half off to heal that leg. Because you could see it. You could see it on Friday where he was limping.
Yeah, it was bothering him.
Yeah,
you could see that he was limping very badly, and then come Saturday in round 3, he barely could walk. So to me, it's time for Tiger to. Yes, we love to see. Absolutely, I love to see him play, but he's got to step away from the game for a little bit and let that leg heal. As far as the match coming up between Brady and Rogers and Mahomes and Allen, I wrote an article today that'll be posted up this weekend about it. But I'll tune in because again, Brady's 0-2 in these matches. By the way, he's lost both.
Right,
as Mickelson is his partner. I don't know. The best handicap in the 4 of them is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has a 4.6 handicap. That's not bad for an NFL player.
No.
For a handicap, that ain't bad. That's not bad at all. I think the highest handicap is Josh Allen. He's got a 9. So that's not bad either. Either however you look at it. Anything in single digits is not bad at all. It should be interesting to see how they play. It'll be in Vegas, obviously under the lights. I think it's a 6:30 Eastern time, so it'll be what? 30 in Vegas.
3:30 over there.
3:30 in Vegas. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing is, I found out today that after the women's U.S. Open, Michelle Wie is leaving the LPGA Tour for good. She announced that
he's not going to retire.
Oh, did you? Okay.
He's going to step away for a while, but because she said she wants to come back and play in next year's tournament. So this is not a permanent retirement.
Just taking a break.
She's always been one of my favorite LPGA players. I can say that. Since the difference between the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour, why I think a lot more golf fans tune into the PGA is because the Americans are the top in the PGA Tour.
Yes.
On the LPGA Tour, it's all foreign people, foreign ladies from Korea, Japan, China. Those are the top players overseas. I think that's why women's golf is not embraced as much on U.S. soil because of that reason.
Right.
And a lot of guys don't watch women's sports on top of that. So
Michelle Wie is American.
Michelle Wie is American. She's from Hawaii. She is American.
I can't believe she's 32 years old already.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I remember when she made her debut. I remember when.
Wow. Boy, I guess I am old.
Yeah, I remember when she made her debut.
I guess I am getting old.
On the Lpga tour. Speaking of that, real quick, we can switch to that role. Let me do this real quick. Hang on just a second. Let me bring this up. We could talk. There was an announcement in women's soccer, women's national soccer, actually.
Can you hear me?
I guess I can hear you, bud. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know why my camera's not working right now.
Okay. I guess they got. I guess the women's team got equal pay.
Yep.
With the men's team in national soccer. The new deal gives women's soccer equal pay with men's players. So that's obviously big. I have written articles for NGSC about women's soccer, and I've gotten absolute criticism for it too. Every time you turn around, who cares? Oh, I care, because you know why I care? Because they win shit. Yeah. They win shit. The women's team wins shit. They win gold medals. They win World Cups. When the men's team does that, then we'll talk.
So you mean you were making a comment and someone was criticizing you for making a comment on it?
Yeah, well, I wrote articles about them. Yeah,
winning. I've had the same problem.
The first article I wrote, Lou, was about them winning a World Cup. And someone said, "Oh, who cares?" Well, I care. I'm an American. I'm an American sports fan.
I think I know who it is.
You know, and like I said, to all those haters out there that hate women's soccer, when the men's team wins shit, you can come talk to me about it.
Yeah.
They ain't nothing yet. Yes, I know they qualified for the World Cup. We'll see how far they get. Right. We'll see how far they get this year. Yeah, I'm serious about that myself.
I've had a problem with someone like that myself because I write articles for the website that I co-create and other sites, and I do fight for another site. I separate my stuff. Football on one side, hockey and basketball on the other, and I do women's sports on another one. And somebody was criticizing me. Who cares about this stuff? It's not important. Like, will you shut up?
Absolutely.
See what I do.
Absolutely.
I think I know who it is too. I think I know who it is because it might be the same jerk that's done it to me.
I hold.
What a moron.
Well, it comes down to the fact that, well, at the end of the day, Lou, what happens is when we write like that and you get haters, you're doing your job correctly because that's what it is. At the end of the day, no one's going to agree with me. No one's going to agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%. It doesn't happen. There's going to be people out there that hate this show. They hate us. They hate how we talk about things.
Right.
So you know what? Let it be.
Well, you're still here.
Right. We're still doing it. We're not going anywhere. So, I'm not going to stop writing because, I've had 2 death threats by my writing. So it can't get no worse than that. But I mean, I do care about women's sports. I feel bad for Brittany Griner. She's stuck in Russia. Her wife now went to the president to get her out of Russia. She's still stuck there to get her out of there because she went over there to make money because they weren't making any money in the WNBA.
Right.
She went over there to make money. So good for her for even going over there to try to make money. She was doing what she had to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's unfortunate that there are, end of the day, there are people, men that don't believe that women should be playing soccer, that women should be in the kitchen, cleaning, having kids. That's all they
back to 1800s.
Yeah. And there are people out there. It's unfortunate, but I do watch women's soccer. I do watch men's soccer too during the World Cup, during the Olympics. I'm not the biggest soccer fan in the world. I don't know what's going on all the time. I do know that,
of course,
the women's team wins a lot of World Cups. They win a lot of gold medals when the Olympics come around. And the men's team, I guess, is starting to go on the up and up. We'll see. I'm waiting to see them do that. But I wanted to bring that up, that they had gotten equal pay. And again, I'm sure we're going to have people go, oh, who cares? Well, how are they getting equal pay? Well, you know, they've been fighting for that forever. So they finally got it, you know,
Mhm.
and let's just leave it at that.
I just want to see my girl win one more time.
Who is it? Who is your girl?
Alex Morgan.
Oh, good choice, Lou. Good choice.
Alex Morgan.
She's an Orlando girl.
Yes.
She plays in Orlando with the Pride.
Yeah, the Pride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Pride. Yep. I have two quick WWE things. I read an article the other day that The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, obviously owns the XFL. We all know that. Does not have any movies or anything like that leading into next year's WrestleMania, which means now the rumor is, will he fight against Roman Reigns for the championship at WrestleMania next year?
Oh.
That is, I mean, I'll have to ask that. Do you think the WWE has to go that far to make WrestleMania important again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring him back? To bring him back against Roman Reigns, who is his cousin in real life?
Yeah, probably.
So, talk about Family Feud.
Could you guys see that? I mean, I definitely can. I really think they could. I honestly could say
I think they're gonna have to.
I think so, Lou. I think at the end of the day, they have to do something. Yeah. I mean, they did the whole. They've done what the last 2 years. They've done the 2-night thing at WrestleMania where they're having a 2-night special. Obviously, if the Reigns and Rock are there, obviously that would probably be the end of night 1 or the last match of night 2. It would be the main event of one of those 2 evenings. But Hell in the Cell is coming up. I want to say this weekend. I think it's Sunday. Is it Sunday? Hang on a second. When is Hell in the Cell? Let's see here. Because this is the match card, and these are the match card and rumors for Hell in the Cell. Now, it will be taking place Sunday, June 5th at the Allstate Arena near Chicago. As of right now, here are the matches that are already on the card. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match. So that will be inside the cage. The other match is the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair is the champion. She will face Asuka, who beat Becky Lynch to get to that match. And the rest of the card is being filled out. Obviously, we have another week before they can fill that card out.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, I don't. What was this? What is it? Thought they did that. Oh, I'm not. Justin, what do you mean? I'm not sure where that comment came from. They did that all because of COVID? What? I'm trying to think of what topic are you referring to? I'm just curious what topic he was referring to. But yeah, obviously. Oh, okay. I see what he's saying. He's referring to the 2 nights at WrestleMania because of COVID issues. Now, I know the first one that they did was in Tampa. I was supposed to try to go there as a media member and, of course, got declined because, again, that happened during the 2020 year, and they moved it to I think 2021. I think last year it was in Tampa, and I couldn't get credentials. I don't think they even answered Ralph's request for credentials for that event. It would be kind of cool. I mean, I would love to attend something that isn't a football game. You know, I think that would be pretty cool. What's going on, Rich? Rich just chimed in. Rich Floyd, what's up, buddy? He's been on here before. Real quick, you're a boxing fan somewhat, right, Lou? You follow boxing pretty well.
Yes.
Did you see that Canelo is facing Triple G?
I heard about that.
Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Let me see something real quick.
That'll be a fight. That'll be a fight to the death.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. I believe that those two, because Canelo, I mean, the thing about Alvarez, who is Canelo beat to put him? I mean, he beat Triple G once, right?
Yeah.
Has he beat Triple G?
I think he has beaten Triple G. Yes.
Okay, because this is a rematch, so they do plan on having a rematch. It looks like it's the third. Is it? I don't know if
here's the third. I believe
it's match number 3 between those two.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, has Alvarez won both, or did
No, I believe that's a split.
did Triple G win the first one and then Alvarez won the second one?
Right.
Okay, so this is the rubber match then.
Yes.
This is the rubber match then. Okay. All right. I would definitely go to a bar of some kind to watch that fight.
Right. He's got a pair of wins against Golovkin. He's got a pair of fights against Golovkin.
Has he won both, Bud? Has he won both against Triple G?
I'm looking right now.
Okay.
The first one that caught my eye was Golovkin. I had to switch devices because for whatever reason my laptop wasn't letting me.
I'm having connection problems myself.
Rock is coming back. Yeah, I have a good feeling that might happen.
Okay, that one's scheduled. He beat Golovkin. He drew with Golovkin.
Oh, so he's 1-0-1. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he's 1-0-1.
Yeah. So he got the split decision. He got the split decision in the first one. The first one, and that was a draw, split decision draw, and then he got the second one was a majority draw. Both fights went 12.
I could see them going again 12 again. Triple G's a hell of a fighter.
Hey, Triple G is one of my favorites right now.
Is he the favorite coming out right now?
No, I said he's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go back here.
Alvarez has what belts? What belt does he have?
Super lightweight.
Okay.
IBF middleweight. WBO super middleweight. I'm not sure what he holds right now, but those are some of his. Yeah. So defending. So he's defending the WBA super, WBC, IBF, WBO, and the Ring Superstar middleweight title. I don't know if that's everything. Hey, Rich. How you doing, buddy?
Rich?
I am coming down with something, I'm pretty sure. And it's not a bad case of loving you, so. His last...
Speaking of I loving you, yeah, Maverick comes out tomorrow, so just...
I want to see that, too. I want to see that.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to go see that tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it's gonna be very close.
I really think that fight will be
it's scheduled for 12.
Okay, where's the scheduled at? Is it Vegas?
It'll probably be in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm be surprised.
Either that, or it'll be at T-Mobile Arena in Paradise, which I think is a suburb of Vegas.
Yeah,
it could be at the MGM. So his last
MGM would be better.
His last 4 fights go Hard Rock in Miami, AT&T in Arlington, Jerry World, the Grand, MGM, and then T-Mobile.
Okay.
I think I like MGM better.
MGM's a great venue.
Yeah. When I was in Vegas, I was right across the street from there. I was at the Monte Carlo, and you can see the MGM Grand right from there.
And it's being shown on Dan's, right? DANZ.
Oh yeah, that's
big contract that Alvarez contract with, right?
So, but it doesn't say here, and it doesn't. Let me. G.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Dan's.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah, because Alvarez has Canelo has a big contract with them. I think all his fights are on that network. He signed a nice, big, extensive, exclusive deal with them.
And Canelo is the favorite right now.
Okay, all right.
Golovkin is a 290 underdog.
When's the fight scheduled? Is it coming up in June?
September 17th.
Oh, so we're okay. So we're
20 days away.
4 months away, something like that. 3 months away from the fight.
4 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be. It's just under 3.
Yeah. Well, so we got a little. Well, as we draw closer and closer, we'll have to keep that fight in mind as we get closer to it, so we can talk about it as we.
Yeah, of course.
In September.
I love boxing.
Well, Richie, we want to wish you a happy birthday, dude. 3 days before my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
28, 29, something like that.
Ahead of time. Yeah, how old will you be, Richie? You gonna be 28? Am I gonna 28 again?
28, 29, somewhere in there, right?
If only I was that young.
You and me both.
Yeah. Well.
Let me. I'm too damn old.
Okay.
Damn old. That was what his reaction. So I guess they're having CBA issues in the CFL. I didn't know they had. I think they did resolve them. The players, I think, were voting on it tonight. From what I read right before we got on here, that they had agreed. I didn't know that was a big thing in this CFL. So that happened to catch my attention, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's interesting.
So,
but yeah.
Okay, so I've got two different. So one site is saying they've reached an agreement. A site that I trust, TSN, is saying they haven't reached an agreement yet, as of 7 hours ago.
Okay. Well, I got a funny feeling that they probably have reached a new CBA.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I guess the XFL signed a big, lucrative deal with Disney.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. I saw that. And the USFL, the league that's going on right now, they're buying for a second season, from what I hear.
Cool.
So they're going to be on it. So
I can say honestly, the USFL that I've watched has been pretty decent.
Yes.
It hasn't been, I think that's the thing. The mystique of football is you only get one game a week.
Right.
And so, when especially back in the day, when you got 3 games, you got a Sunday, you got 2 games at 1 o'clock, 1 game at 4 o'clock, and that was it. If you didn't have cable, if you had cable, then you got the Sunday night game. And then the next game you got was Monday, and then you had to wait a week. There weren't Thursday night games. There weren't Saturday games. There was one game on, and if your team played, you got your team game. You got one. So, like for me, I was in the NFC. So you got the Lions at 1 o'clock, and whatever the national game on CBS was, and then you either got the late game on CBS or you got the late game on Fox, and then you had the I'm not sure.
I don't think I've heard anything about that.
Jimmy.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that if the USFL does get into a second season, that the Bandits play at Raymond James Stadium, because I know Ralph wanted me to cover them.
Yeah,
so I would go and cover them, outside of college football.
Right.
And cover them. So we'll see. I mean, and
So
I'm sure
they do a second season though.
They're pushing for one. I know and the XFL starts next spring, right? Or
Yes, February.
Yeah. Okay. So they, obviously that's
Okay, so it is that Jimmy Smith. Okay. Yeah, his kid signed with the Jags this week.
he's a running back. He said. That's what Rich said. Rich said, I know he's a running back.
Yeah,
So
I played at Wyoming.
I hadn't heard anything about.
No. Neat.
What we can talk about before we get into the NFL, you
Right.
guys want to, we can talk about the NBA. Obviously, the Celtics took a 3-2 lead over the Heat last night. I watched that game briefly.
Yes.
I want to see some parts of that game.
What are you guys' thoughts so far on that series? Is it just because there's been some blowout games in that series?
Yeah.
And it's gone both ways. Miami blows out Boston, and Boston blows out Miami.
Yeah.
It's a mismatch.
Is Tyler Hero being out a big factor? He's been out the last 2 games in the Heat.
I think it is causing a factor with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hero is becoming a zero.
Ugh. It's always a huge factor.
They get the first overall pick in the NBA draft. Let's just put it to you that way.
It's the draft
Yeah,
lottery.
big deal.
They won the draft lottery. The Magic won the draft lottery. But I think I have no idea who they pick at number 1. I don't know any of the college basketball players that are coming out of for the draft. But I think it's going to be Golden State and Boston in the finals. I really
agree.
It would be great to see Dallas, but Dallas will have to stage a huge comeback. I know they want more to hang on to avoid a sweep. And they, like you said, they're getting ready to tip it off here soon, right?
Yeah, it's just not ready.
Okay. If you guys want to get into it, the all NBA team has been named.
Yeah.
You guys see who was on that? The all NBA team for 2021, 2022. Here are the names that made the all NBA squad. Now these are NBA first team. You have Luka, Devin Booker, Giannis, Jason Tatum, and the Joker. The second team was John Morant, Steph Curry, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, and Joel Embiid. Third team would be Trae Young, Chris Paul, Pascal.
Thank you. Siakam.
Thank you. And LeBron James, and then Karl Anthony Towns.
There's something wrong with this list. I don't think they should win the third squad. I mean, that should be moved up a bit. I mean, LeBron, how can they be selected onto the third team? I mean, they should at least be the second.
I don't know. Well, put it to you this way. So they have LeBron at forward. So are you telling me that Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum are better than LeBron James?
This year, I think so.
This year.
I mean, I'm looking at who they put ahead of. Now, Jason Tatum, I think is a great player. I really do. I think he's one of the leaders in Boston.
Absolutely.
I think he's one of the guys that they need. Smart's another guy that has to play who's been kind of hurt over the past couple games.
Yeah.
But they, if Boston does play Golden State, who do you guys like in the finals if those two teams get there?
Ooh.
Do you like the Celtics or do you like the Warriors? Okay.
Warriors in 7.
Yes.
Warriors in 7. Okay.
It's going to be a knockdown drag out. I honestly thought this series,
Rich.
I think this series is going to be a lot closer than it turned out to be. I'm surprised that Golden State has strangled Dallas as well as they have. Outside Game 4, Dallas had absolutely nothing for Golden State.
Well, I mean, it comes down to they have Clay, Steph, Draymond Green, and then you have that kid Jordan Poole. That's hard to stop. Those 4 are hard to stop. I mean, that's
and then you have Andrew Wiggins. Dallas has history ball. Dallas has to have their threes go in.
Yeah.
And then the last game the other night was the first game they actually got the 3-ball to fall.
Yeah. So I mean, it should be interesting. Obviously, the Warriors can move on to the NBA Finals tonight.
Yeah.
And then Boston can do it tomorrow. So we'll see how that all boils down. We can force a Game 7 tomorrow night, and then of course, if Dallas beats Golden State, we will have a Game 6. But I mean,
I doubt it.
No, you think Golden State ends it tonight?
Yeah.
You think okay? I think Golden State and I think Golden State and Boston are in the finals against each other. But again, who knows? I mean, Miami might win the last 2 games for all I know.
Yeah,
I mean, Miami
wrong,
for all I know. So,
man, that's already a 9. They've gone on a 9-2 run to open the game.
Okay.
So
it's gonna.
Yeah, this could get ugly early if Dallas doesn't start hitting some shots. Just give up a bad turnover that led the point.
Could be the last round of
over again.
So let's go to the Diamond. We're about midway. We're almost to Memorial Day, where we have like the first time we.
Yeah, this is the first real. Your first real quarter pole of the season.
Yes.
So the main issue that's been coming up, obviously, is this fight between Josh Donaldson and Tim Anderson.
Yeah.
Obviously, it caused a bench clearing situation over the weekend. Donaldson apologized, from what I read today.
Yeah, they suspended him a game.
Robinson.
You just gotta. It's like Herm Edwards said, 15 years ago now. Don't press send. Sometimes internal thoughts just need to stay inside your head.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You just gotta eat, bite the bullet and just swallow your words and move on to the next next at bat. Before you say anything stupid, I say, would I say this to my mom? If you wouldn't say it to your mom, don't say it.
Right. Yeah, I would say I have to agree with that.
And I think that's the biggest thing is like we're so racially insensitive in this country anymore. You can't say anything. You just gotta eat it. You just gotta swallow your words and move on with life because it ain't worth it.
No, it isn't.
Because people, whether you meant it to be, like I was saying earlier about Kadri. People say things to be mean, hurt your feelings, get you off the game.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't think John Donalds is a racist. I don't think he hates black people. I think he's just being a dick.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he was
trying to get our chin. I think that it's not that he's a racist, it's that he's just stupid. You can't say stuff like that now these days because people will take it as you being racist. Regardless of whether you are or you aren't, if you say shit like that, there's consequences for saying shit like that.
Yep. You
can't just say whatever you feel anymore because people care about what you say and we've talked about it before. Sports has an image that they're trying to convey that sports is for everyone, and there are lots of young fans who look up to these guys. And
we have Rich. We do.
Yeah, we mentioned that top show. Is that the kids look up? Parents want the athletes that the days of being a glorified street thug and getting away with it are long gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't just say whatever you want. There are consequences the way what you say and how you say it. Whether you like it or not. Sure, you can say whatever you want, but there are still repercussions for what you say. You gotta be smart and tactful. He'd be better off, at this point, you'd be better off telling somebody to F themselves.
Yeah.
Than saying something racial.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just stupid. And it's gonna start a fight. You're gonna start a fight, say something racist.
Yeah. That's all it takes nowadays.
Because people aren't going to put up with it anymore. They're just not.
Well, here, guys, here is the top 10 off-season moves that are paying off so far.
Okay.
This year. Number 1, the Astros signed starting pitcher Justin Verlander to a 1-year, $25 million deal. Obviously, he's done a very good job since coming back. The Blue Jays signed starting pitcher Kevin Guzman to a 5-year, $110 million deal. He's off to a good start. The Yankees signed Anthony Rizzo. The Mets acquire starting pitcher Chris Bassett from the A's in a 3-player trade.
Okay.
The Dodgers signed Freddie Freeman to a 6-year, $162 million deal. Rangers signed starting pitcher Martin Perez to a 1-year, $4 million deal. The Giants signed starting pitcher Carlos Rondon to a 2-year, $44 million deal. The Mets signed Max Scherzer. Jesus Christ, if I can pronounce that correctly. Max Scherzer. The Padres acquire right-handed pitcher Tyler Rogers, and the Yankees acquire third baseman Josh Donaldson and shortstop Ian Kinerfala from the Twins in a 5-player trade. Okay. So those are, all those moves have benefited the teams that they're there for.
That made them
yeah, I don't see any of those moves that have not worked out yet for any of those teams.
Yeah.
As of right now, here is the scoreboard in Major League Baseball. In the top of the 9th, the Yankees lead the Rays 5-0. The Nationals are beating the Rockies 5-3 in the bottom of the 7th. The Guardians and the Tigers are tied at 3 in the top of the 7th. The Phillies are up 1-0 over the Braves in the 7th inning. The Twins are up 2-0 over the Royals. The Brewers are up 3-2 over the Cardinals in the top of the 4th. The Red Sox are up 6-0 over the White Sox in the top of the 3rd. The late games are the Blue Jays Angels, Dodgers Diamondbacks, Rangers Athletics, and earlier today, the Cincinnati Reds beat the Chicago Cubs by a grand score of 20-5. Yes, 20 runs for the Reds, who can't.
How can that team that's the suckiest team in the league have that many runs against the Cubs?
Well, here I'm gonna pull up the box score real quick. I want to see how they scored 20 runs because I'm curious about that myself.
Yeah, 8-run
One of the biggest losers in baseball.
Yeah.
So here is the box score. The Reds scored. It had 20 runs on 20 hits, 1 error. They scored 2 runs in the 2nd, 8 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, and 5 in the 8th.
I figured they had an 8-run inning in there.
Yeah, they had 8-run inning in the 3rd inning.
Right.
Let's see here. There was only about 3 guys in the lineup that didn't have a hit. One guy went 3 for 5. Another guy went 4 for 4 with 3 runs, 5 RBIs. Shortstop for the Reds went 5 for 4. Went 4 for 4. So yeah, that brings the Reds record to 14-30. And they are in the that's where they stand. So they are in last place in the NL Central.
Yeah.
And again, we'll go through the standings again. We're getting to the point now where we can kind of vary where everything kind of stands.
Starting to shake out at this point.
Obviously,
yeah. The men separates from the boys.
Yeah, obviously there are some teams like the Reds who might be already out of it already.
Yeah.
This early on in the season,
and the Orioles.
A huge comeback for the Reds to somehow make the postseason somehow. But again, it would take a miraculous turnaround.
Yeah.
Right now,
Cincinnati is just getting clobbered. It's not like they're losing by a run or two. They're just getting absolutely hammered night in and night out. You know, you could say if they were 14 and 30, but they weren't losing game. You know, a lot of their games were 1 and 2 runs. Where if they could find a hit here or there, they could turn a lot of those games into wins. Then but they at least it seems to me that they're getting constantly hammered on a night in night out basis.
Correct. So here are the standings as we speak. The Yankees have a 4.5 game lead over the Rays, 7.5 over the Jays, 10.5 over the Red Sox, and 13.5 over Baltimore in the AL East.
Boston to be that bad this year.
Yeah, we've won 6 out of our last 7, so that's not too bad.
Still 10.5 games back, so.
Right, yeah, we're still 10.5 out.
Long road to hoe.
In the Central, the Twins have a 4.5 game lead on the White Sox, 7 on the Guardians, 11.5 on the Tigers, and 12 on the Royals in the Central. The AL West, the Astros hold a 2 game lead over the Angels, 8.5 over the Rangers, 10.5 over the A's, and 11 over the Mariners in the AL West. In the NL, the Mets have a 7 game lead over the Braves, 8 over the Phillies, 9 over the Marlins, and 13.5 over the Nationals. That's a lot of games to be separated this early, and they're up to 7 already.
I thought the Braves were going to regret letting Freeman go.
Nope.
Yeah, of course.
The NL Central, the Brewers have a 3.5 game lead over the Cardinals, 9.5 over Pittsburgh, 10 over Chicago, and 14 over the Reds.
That just makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
The NL West is probably the tightest division between their 1 and 2.
Yes.
Dodgers only have a 1.5 game lead over San Diego, 5 over the Giants, 7 over the Diamondbacks, and 9 over the Rockies.
Are they all still right around 500?
Yeah, the only team, Bud, that's under 500 is the Rockies. They are 20 and 23. Everyone else in that division is over 500.
Not bad.
20 and 23 is still not that bad, though.
No, because the Diamondbacks are 23 and 22. San Francisco is 24 and 19. The Padres are 28 and 16, and the Dodgers are 29 and 14. So that's really tight, as far as
everybody's within striking distance of the lead, and they all got to play each other another dozen times. So
correct. The NL Central, there's only 2 teams that are 500 or better, and that's the Brewers and the Cardinals.
Right.
Everyone else is 500. The NL East, the only team that is above 500 or better is the Mets.
Thank you, welcome back.
In the AL West, there's 2 teams. Houston and LA are the 2 teams that are 500 or better. In the American League Central, you only have 2 teams. That will be Chicago and Minnesota.
Right.
And in the AL East, there's 3 teams. The Jays, Rays, and Yankees are all above 500. The Red Sox are 20 and 23, and the Orioles are 18 and 27.
So the Red Sox are not, by any stretch of the imagination, out of it.
No,
we're only 3 games back of the Jays, who are in third. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it.
Definitely, that second wild card is in, or that one of the 2 wild card berths is in play for Boston. You mentioned 4 teams out of the AL East making the playoffs.
Yeah, well, what is it? Isn't it 6 or 7 that make it this year?
I think it's 7.
7.
7 teams this year out of each division, or each league. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is it? It's the top 2 teams in each division, and then then they pick a wild card team. Is that how they do it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I think so.
They should just expand it to 8 teams, and
2 wild card spots.
Yeah, 2 wild card spots. Everybody plays and have 3 5 or 3 7 game series. or however many.
How about you do like the old hockey thing where you'd have 1 versus 8,
Yep.
2 versus 7, that type of situation where you
That's
see
what I think. No more single elimination. Everybody plays a full series. Because if you have a team like Houston, who has Verlander that they can throw at you, or who's Mad Max now? Where did Scherzer end up?
Mets. He's a Met.
Yeah, the Mets have Scherzer that they can throw at you for one game. He's going to give you 7 or 8 strong. Or the Angels who can run Ohtani out there in a single elimination game. I just in team sports, I understand why football only has 1 game playoffs, because football you can't really have a series of games.
No.
Because of the brutality that is football. You can only play once, maybe twice.
Here's my question I have. What if they made – okay, now again, I know this will never happen. Hypothetical situation. The Super Bowl is a best of 3. Now listen to what I have to say this, because obviously you can't play 3 games in a row. So you'd have it 3 individual Sundays. So 3 consecutive Sundays you would play. Now, if the team that wins game 1 wins game 2, then there won't be a third game. What I'm saying is, would that be something legitimately to kind of have a series? It's never going to happen. We know that's not going to happen.
Right.
What I'm saying is, would that be cool to have a best of 3 for the Super Bowl? 3 consecutive.
It would be making getting rid of the Pro Bowl and having a second, a 2-game series, or a 3-game series, where you could actually to being a real champion. That could be interesting, because the Pro Bowl sucks. Let's.
Well, they're getting rid of it. That's what I read, that they're trying.
They're talking about it. Yeah, they're considering just getting rid of the Pro Bowl altogether, because nobody wants to go to an exhibition game that means nothing and get hurt. They're not.
And then also too, but it used to be in Hawaii, so the players would take their families over there, moved it to Orlando, and nothing against it. That's in my home state, but Orlando has not even the same galaxy as Hawaii. So
right. Orlando's nice if you're from Michigan, but it's not nice if you're a multi-million-dollar NFL player.
Correct.
It's one thing if you live in Ohio and going to Orlando. It's another thing if you live in Miami and go to Orlando.
Yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah. Versus Hawaii.
Yeah.
And if you're
Hawaii or Orlando any day.
I'd be there in a heartbeat. Yeah.
And so I think that doing away with the Pro Bowl and with the option of having a 3-game series being something that we could explore, I think that they should really the conference championship game and then the Super Bowl should be the same the next week. I always think that the games are better when you only have a week to prepare.
Right. I mean, that'll never happen, because I don't think the players will ever agree to do something like that.
No, I can't. It's just football is just too brutal.
Yeah,
it's just too brutal to have to have a series. But I mean, I think that getting rid of the Pro Bowl and moving the Super Bowl back a week I think the games are so much better when you only have 1 week between the conference championship game and the Super Bowl.
Right. Just real quick, I found out earlier today that this is not anything to do with the National Football League. This has to do with college football. Play-by-play announcer Mick Hubert is retiring from Florida Gators athletics. That's huge, because Mick has been with the team for over almost 30 years. But he has decided to step away. Family. I mean, obviously, that's the most important thing, guys, out there. We love talking about sports, but when it comes down to it, family always comes first.
Yeah.
So he's stepping away for family, to be with his family. I do know that Gene Deckerhoff, who calls the Bucks games, was the FSU's play-by-play guy. He retired already. His last game he called was the spring game for FSU spring game last month.
Okay, we count that. Okay.
Yeah, Jim and
we have some big shoes to fill in the state of Florida as far as the college football announcers go. So I found that out today that Mick Huber. I found it on through Reddit that somebody had put up some like, thanks Mick, and I'm like, what? What do you mean, Mick? When did Mick Huber? He retired this month. He just announced it like a week ago.
Okay.
That he is going to hang it up. So again, there's shoes to fill at FSU and at Florida when it comes to their.
You gonna turn in your resume?
I don't know about that, man. I mean, I would do either one, even though I'm not the biggest Knowles fan in the world. But to be there, to be able to go to the games in Tallahassee, I would do it. I would do it. I would do it.
No, I think I'd rather stay in the New York area.
I know that Jim and Dan hung them up last year. At the end of last year, the conference, the semifinal was their last game.
Okay.
It's gonna be weird next year to have Doug Karsh. I think it's John Jansen and Doug Karsh are taking over play-by-play duties this year. It's gonna be weird not having Jim and Dan in the booth. I'm gonna miss them.
Did Jim retire?
Yeah, Jim Branstetter and Dan Deerdorf. They both hung them up at the end of the year.
Well, I think it comes to a point, like, I think a lot of these college guys, the guys that played the game,
been doing it for 40
gone back to be, after like 20, 25 years, they hang it up. It's time. It's like, and I think back to this. You've been with the school for over 20 years, so you've seen the ups and downs.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been through the good years, the crappy years, and then the really shitty.
And
they're thick and thin, man.
Yeah.
Thick and thin. And
yeah, I mean,
yeah, they got to beat Ohio State, and so yeah.
Well, and then I was just thinking about that today. Mick Huber, I got to be there at his last Florida State game. I was in the stands to have announce his last FSU UF game. So that was kind of cool. Like, wow, I got to hear, Mick. Yeah. If you don't know who Mick Hubert is, the famous line is, "Oh my." I can't play anything on here because I'm going to get copyright claimed or striked or whatever.
Right.
I wish I could play his highlights, but I can't. But that was Mick's line. I have a thing I've had for years, and I'll read this to you. How I've had this sign for years. I got it at Crackle Barrel of all places. It says, "How to be a Florida Gator. You bleed blue and orange. You scream, 'Go Gators!' Remember the legends gather at the swamp. Whether only Gators get out or only the Gators get out alive." That was something that they don't do anymore.
Yes.
Have your picture made with Albert and Alberta. Cheer with the legend of Mr. Two Bits. Shout, "Oh my," with Mick Hubert. Do the Gator chomp with Gator Nation.
Oh my.
Stand arm in arm as we are the boys. And don't forget, it's great to be a Florida Gator. I've had that sign in my room for years. I've had it for they don't suck, Rich. The Seminoles suck. But it comes down to that. It's both schools are going to have some big shoes to fill when it comes in. Michigan will as well. We had Jim on here. I was kind of hoping to get him back.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool to have him back on here. Or anything else. I'm trying to. I would love to get Jim Lauk on here, who's USF's.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I haven't been able to reach him. But that would be kind of cool to have Jim Lauk on here. Oh no! Carolina scores again, 3-1 in the third period.
Gonna be sick.
They don't lose at home.
They don't lose at home.
No, they don't.
They don't lose at home.
Well, regardless, we're going to be game Saturday in New York, so that's any consolation for me. You go, yes.
Yeah, we were gonna have a game in New York anyway, so
That's true.
Richie, I hate to admit you, but you are right. I hate to admit that on that one, but
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Remember,
They-
USF, you stupid freakazoid.
Nah, this is a
I'm
make or
trying to be
break
gentle
year.
here.
I think this is a make or break year for Jim Scott, or I'm sorry, Coach Scott.
Call back.
This is a make or break year for Jeff Scott. I really consider.
Absolutely.
The NFL, it looks like they're mowing over eliminating the Pro Bowl. The other topics I saw was Brian Flores' lawsuit without merit. I'm not sure what that means.
Blah.
I'm not sure what that means. And then
Yeah, could you explain it to English people?
the NFL extends the Rooney Rule to include quarterback coaches' mandates deserve. Obviously, that's. I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't gone to ownership or general managers.
It will.
I think what's his name for ESPN. No, I can't think of his dang name. He was on the draft night. I can't think. What's his name? Jesus, hang on a minute. Let me look it up. Now it's really going to drive me crazy. Hang on a minute here. Louis Riddick is the person I was thinking about.
Right, sure.
I think Louis Riddick should be a general manager.
If he wanted to be, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close out again. It's too freaking hot.
Oh yeah, I didn't talk about that. We forgot to talk about that.
What's that?
The whole issue with Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher.
No?
Yeah.
You guys hear about that altercation last week? That altercation happened last week. I guess Jimbo Fisher said that Nick Saban pays players to go to Alabama.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I honestly, and I know people are going to be pissed when I say this, it happens all over college football, and don't tell me it does not, because it does. Every program does it. It's just they don't get caught doing it. Plain and simple. It happens in every school. Not at, Jimbo, we do everything clean. Okay. You're going to sit there and tell me that in the state of Texas, you don't have boosters paying kids?
Liar.
Get the hell out of here.
Liar.
It happens everywhere. Everywhere around college football, it happens. I don't care what school you are, whether you're a Division I, Division II, Division III school, you pay your players. Somebody's paying somebody for them to sign a letter. Sorry. I know people aren't going to say, you don't know that. Well, yeah, it happens. The NCAA is very dirty, in my opinion. And I love college football to death, but you got to be honest at the end of the day.
Yes.
College football, not so much college football. I think it happens in basketball too. I think college basketball.
Oh yeah,
the same way.
Sure. I mean, there was the big scandal last year. 2 years ago.
And Lou too. Those are between football and basketball. Those are the two sports that make the money for most of the universities around the country. So why would it not be?
No one cares about and baseball, is lurking in the shadows somewhere. In the back of the sports pages.
It's not tennis or swimming or gymnastics or
kickboxing, code naked volleyball.
Baseball. I guess baseball would be included. Baseball
to an extent.
Baseball, baseball to an extent. College baseball.
Well, in the South, up here, no.
No, okay.
Not here, not my area. No, yes.
Well, and I think both college baseball and college softball are close to going to their particular areas to start their World Series. I know
they are.
Baseball goes to Pennsylvania, right? Am I right? Is that where they go, Williams?
No, they go to Omaha.
Omaha, Nebraska. That's right. Oh, that's the Little League World Series that goes to Pennsylvania. I'm getting them mixed up. Williamsport. Okay, I'm getting them mixed up.
Right.
And then where do the ladies play? Is it a neutral site or do they play wherever? I forget where they play college softball.
Yeah, I think it's no. They have a certain location. I forget where, but they do have a certain location. But I think they've been on it every year. I don't think it's in the same area.
Let me see something here. Let's see. College softball World Series. Here we go. It will be. Let's see.
I do know that NGIT did qualify for the tournament. I think the regionals.
Actually, Lou, they play in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. That is where they play.
Okay, Oklahoma City, yeah.
They're in Oklahoma. So the men play in Nebraska, the women play in Oklahoma, and the little leaguers play in Pennsylvania. So
right.
There you go with that.
Why do we play in the middle of nowhere?
I don't know. I mean,
Nebraska too. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the draw is to Omaha. I mean, I know that's the famous thing that Peyton Manning used to say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Only thing that's good is Omaha Steaks. That's about it.
And that too, and that as well. That as well. Yeah, Rich. They won a national championship a few years ago. FSU softball.
It's true.
They won their first national championship a few years ago. So I think they're on the verge of getting the World Series. Well, here's the softball bracket that just came out on NCAA.com.
No kidding.
So let's see what teams made it to Oklahoma that will battle for. Okay, so it's a 64 team bracket. Jesus. Okay, so we're a long way away from deciding.
It didn't used to be like that.
No. Let me see here real quick. Here. Let me see if I can open the bracket. It'll be a lot easier to be able to read this. Okay.
The Supers are set 64 teams down to just 16 competing for a spot in the women's college.
Okay, let's see something here. Let's see here. This is Division I softball that starts. It's actually already. Oh, I'm sorry. They've got to the 16. My fault. So they're down to 16 teams left
already.
So here are
that's because they start earlier. They start earlier than we did in the men's. That's
so
right.
Here's the 16 teams that are left. You have Oklahoma. You have Oklahoma versus UCF. You have Northwestern versus Arizona State. UCLA versus Duke. Texas versus Arkansas. Virginia Tech versus Florida. Oregon State versus Stanford, Oklahoma State versus Clemson, and Arizona versus Mississippi State.
Okay,
that is who is left in college softball, Division I softball.
Like I said, though, college baseball, no offense, is more popular more in the South than the West. Up here, it doesn't even hardly mention on the Richter scale.
The only time.
I was going to say, does Rutgers have you guys have a baseball team at Rutgers, right?
We do. So does NGIT, and they're in the regionals right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And their draw is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. I was just going to go there and see.
The draw.
I was going to go there and see how that was breaking down. Okay. So right now in Division I, the number one team in the country is Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee is the number one baseball team this year.
Tennessee.
They're 49-7. That's their record.
Wow.
Then you have Va-Tech, Stanford, Oregon State, Texas A&M, Miami, Louisville, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Maryland, Texas State, Gonzaga, Arkansas, Southern Miss, Virginia, Notre Dame, UC Santa Barbara, TCU, Texas, UCLA, LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Carolina, Auburn, and Grand Canyon are the top 25. Now, I have to agree with Lou because you know what? I didn't hear any northern teams on that list.
Yeah.
No one from the Northeast, nobody from the North. I mean, you don't see Minnesota or a Michigan or anybody like that.
Not in the top 25, at least, no.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's all either Southern, Southeast, or West, out West.
I told you.
UC Santa Barbara, Cal, UCLA, teams like that.
Yeah. My phone got too hot, kept crashing. Sorry about that, guys.
No problem.
My laptop, the camera's not working on my laptop right now. So I don't know.
I've had a problem with connections lately. I wonder how you can fix that.
When does the College World Series begin? Is it coming up soon?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to start this weekend.
This weekend, okay.
I think so.
Now,
Yeah.
we were talking, Adam, when you broke off, Bud. We were talking about the whole fight between Nick Saban and Jimbo.
Yeah.
And I said it out loud. I said I think that
a couple weeks.
Players are being paid at every university. I don't care who it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just you keep it underneath the rug.
Either one of those guys is gonna get you in the NFL. So
hell yeah.
You know, I think it's just both of them whining at each other. You know.
Well, here's the interesting thing. We have SEC Media Day coming up. They're going to be in the same building, and guess what? Let me tell you when they meet each other, because they do play each other this year. So let's see when they play against each other.
I don't know if they play each other this year
in football, because their game is scheduled for October 8th in Tuscaloosa. So I'm telling you, that's going to be a hot topic real quick. With Jimbo Fisher going to Tuscaloosa, I think he'd be much safer to throw comments like that if they were in College Station, but not so much in. We'll see, because you know what? You never know. The Aggies may go up there and get an upset. For all I know, you know what I mean. Because let's see who does A&M play this year. I'm going to look at their schedule real quick. All right, so they start the season at home against Sam Houston State. Then they play Appalachian State. Miami plays on the University of Miami's there. Then they start their SEC schedule at home against Arkansas. Then they go to Mississippi State, to Alabama. They're off. South Carolina, Mississippi comes to them. Florida comes to them in November. They are at Auburn. UMass plays them on November 19th. And then the weekend of Thanksgiving, they're at home against LSU.
Okay.
It's an interesting schedule for the Aggies.
Yeah.
I do know this. Alabama plays USF next year at Raymond James Stadium. I do know that, because they keep advertising on the radio for you to get tickets.
Of course.
for next season. So
then ahead, folks.
Yeah. Well, you get if you buy season tickets this year, it locks them in for that same price next year.
Of course.
Oh, cool.
They can't raise the price on you next year. So say USF has a winning season this year, they can't jack the ticket prices up for season holders. Oh, it's 3-1 with 25 seconds left. They pulled their goal.
Yeah.
No one can beat the Hurricanes at home.
Nope.
Unfortunately, no.
No one's done it so far. Nobody.
All right. See you Saturday in New York.
Yeah, going back to MSG for game 6 at MSG.
Yep. We'll see if Carolina can get one done on the road.
Has it? I think the home teams won every game in this series, right?
We have, yes.
Okay, so that means the Rangers will win on Saturday night then.
I guarantee it.
And then what's game 7 on Monday?
Game 7 on Monday. Yep, on Memorial Day. And that's fine with me, because it goes 7 games. That just gives us more rest. So I'll take it. I will damn well take it. I will damn well take it.
I've been burnt too many times by having
guarantee a win Saturday night.
Well, if Carolina wins on Saturday, then Monday starts the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
Yeah. If Carolina beats the Rangers Saturday, then I think the Eastern Conference Finals start on Monday. That would be game 1. If they extend it to a 7th game, the Eastern Conference Finals will start on Wednesday. We'll start on Wednesday. All right, so I flipped it over to MLB Network, and it looks like I got the Phillies and the Braves on right now. The Phils lead 4-0 over.
I got
right now. Joe Girardi. It's surprising to see him wearing a Phillies managerial uniform.
Yeah, this game's kind of weird. Well,
But other than that, guys, I don't really have too much other. We had talked about NASCAR. The Preakness was this past weekend.
Early voting.
Early voting won?
Well, you know what? I forgot to cast my ballot for
it. Right.
That was a joke, folks. You missed it.
Something out of my computer screen.
That was a joke, people. You missed it. I got to work on the material.
Yeah.
And I got a photograph there, too. Oh, boy.
The Yankees beat the Rays 7-2. It is a final. It is a final. Game 1 of 4. Because they have 2 more games. I think Saturday's game is sold out at Tropicana Field.
Really?
They sold that game out.
That's
Yeah.
a first.
They sold the game out at Tropicana Field on Saturday.
Amazing.
Which I will probably venture to say that there'll be more Yankee fans there than there'll be Rays fans.
Yeah, pretty much. I think a 3-1 margin.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think
that's just being kind.
Yeah, no, I have a funny feeling that that's what's going to happen.
Well, the Yankees do have a home in Tampa, to be honest with you, because
they do play their spring training baseball here.
That is their home, so it's not too, so it's not too unusual that they do have Yankee fans there. That's what I think. Well, why do they have fans there? It's Tampa Bay, yes, but they have a home there.
Yeah. Yep. They.
So before all you people think I'm crazy out there, there's a reason. There's a reason why.
Well, and there's a lot of them too that move down here from New York, and they stay in.
Right.
They don't change and adapt to
their allegiances.
Yeah, they keep. Yeah.
I wouldn't change mine.
Well, Richie, you have a good night as well, my man. You have a good night as well.
Yeah, good night, bud.
Oh yeah.
See you next week.
But yeah, it comes down. I mean, that's a sellout. I think it's going to come down to those 2 teams anyway. In all honesty, I think at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when it comes down to playing for the American League East, I think it's going to be between the Yankees and the Rays again. So it's been that way for a while. So I think it's going to be that way again. And
nice to see.
And the Blue Jays, I think, will be the dark horse.
Yeah, the Blue Jays will.
Yeah, they'll be the dark horse this year.
It's an 11-point game.
What game is the basketball game on? TNT?
TNT. Yep.
Hang on a minute. Let me flip to there. Are the Warriors up, or is it Dallas?
Yeah, it's 49-38 Golden State with just under 5 minutes to go.
That's enough to come back.
51.
Yeah, they're down 13 going into
the
end of the second quarter.
A long way to go, though. You gotta make a couple of baskets, get a couple of shots.
A lot of time left.
Because in Tuesday's game, Dallas by 29, and they won by 10.
Yeah. Oh, is that a foul or is that a charge?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a foul. Looked like a foul to me.
Yes.
Hell, it's hard to tell with the NBA anymore what's a foul, what's not a foul.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the 1980s,
Right.
Oh, back in those days, they'd rip your head off to get a foul.
Pretty.
They would rip my head off.
Clothesline and all that stuff for a foul at that point.
Yeah.
Bill and Beer, man.
Yep.
Those were some nasty boys.
Yep. Bill Lambier and company.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Dumars.
Well, I mean, Luke can say this. When the Pacers played the Knicks in the 90s, you had Dale Davis.
There.
You had Patrick Ewing and Anthony Mason and
John Starks.
Reggie Miller was one of the biggest trash talkers in the league.
Still is.
Still is. He's an announcer now.
He's still trash talks. I mean, you can still be a trash talker even though you don't play the game itself. You can still be a trash talker.
Of course you can. Oh, a big three.
That's a dagger.
You got a trash talk on my show about some players.
That's a dagger.
And now they're up by 18 points with 3:59 left in the first half.
Absolute freaking dagger, man. Ugh.
Well, if you're gonna win and go to the Western Conference Finals, I guess it's best to do it at home.
Yeah, and in style.
At home. Yeah.
Edmonton and Calgary getting ready to drop the puck.
Drop the puck.
Battle of Alberta continues.
It does.
If Edmonton closes it out tonight, then they're moving on to the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
Calgary has to win to keep that series alive.
Yeah.
Who's at home? Are they in Calgary or are they in Edmonton?
It looks like it. It looks like they're in Calgary. I love those old school Calgary uniforms.
Are they in their road white? Or are they at
They're in the red.
They're in the red. They're at home
They're
then.
the late 80s Calgary C with the flames.
Yeah.
I like these uniforms. I think they're a classic look.
Yeah. Some uniforms are just, ugh.
Looks like Yager is leaning towards his 35th pro season.
Good for him.
Still playing hockey.
Absolutely. Wow. If you can still skate, why not?
Still playing hockey.
Yeah,
speaking of
yeah.
So I was talking to my friend the other night. I told you about. We were talking hockey, and I told him, I said, I think Ovechkin's going to break Gretzky's record. And he goes, "What record are you talking about?"
If he stays healthy,
old record. He goes, "You're crazy." I go, "No, I'm not."
I think he can. I think that if he can still get 45 a year into his 40s, he'll break it.
Yeah, I think. Now I know he got injured at the end of this year, but
he's a little mixed up.
Going majorly injured the next 4 or 5 years. I think he can. I think.
Yeah, if he plays another 4 years, I think he gets it done. Because he's at what 780 something, 760 something.
Yeah, let me look that up real quick. Hang on just a second. Let's see here. Most goals in hockey. Know who has the record?
Right.
Gretzky has 894 goals. Ovechkin has 780. So he's 114 goals away from taking over.
If he can stay healthy, yeah.
Yeah. If he can stay on pace for 45 over the next 3 years, he'll get damn close.
He's only 31 away from breaking Gordie Howe's record for number 2 all time.
But remember, Ovechkin, I heard something about Ovechkin earlier. Let me see if I can go to that.
Didn't he get hurt? He got hurt.
He's gonna be out for a while. And then start this. No, that was
Wilson. Tom Wilson.
Okay.
Out for the start of the season. He had to have surgery.
Yeah.
Okay.
My co-host is not gonna be happy about that.
He's a Capitals fan?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
The Capitals, the Nationals.
Oh, so he's an all-around Washington fan.
The Washington whatnots. What do you want to call
Commanders? Them? The Commanders or the Redskins?
Did I
say the Redskins? I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say that.
Uh-oh.
I'm not supposed to say
that. I like for the foot for real.
We're all getting canceled.
Yep.
I'm not supposed to say Cleveland Indians either. Well, I'm going to say that too.
Yeah. I could say the New York Titans, but no, they became the Jets. There you go.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, Jets is better.
I could say the New York Islanders.
I like the Yankees better. I like the Jets better than.
I do this all night.
I do. I could say that.
Yeah.
And I think the Jets and the Giants both had good drafts this year.
Absolutely.
I think the Jets are fixing to be a much improved team. I think it'll really come down to can Zach Wilson mature in his second season? and take a step forward, or is he gonna end up being another bust? I really think that. And what will Robert Slay do in his sophomore season? And can he, get his players, get the new guys to buy in? They've done some nice things. They've got some nice pieces. They got some young talent. And can they build on that and develop winners? And it's hard to develop a winning culture in a place that's used to losing. And bringing in a lot of young talent, unfortunately for a place that's used to losing, it's hard to lure in top tier free agents.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to go to a place that, if you're stuck between two shitty choices and you're going to go with the one that offers you the most money.
Mm-hmm.
Or top tier free agents in the middle of their career at their first contract. Yeah, not, for New York over the last 10 years, they've had a hard time bringing in those guys. It's the guys that are washed up over the hill or guys that are young, draft picks, lots of draft picks that haven't panned out. And in the draft lottery, or the draft is a crapshoot.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know. You think you've seen tape, you've seen film, you talked to them, you done interviews and seen them at the combo, seen them at the Senior Bowl, whatever. But you just don't know. You don't know if they're gonna go out there and blow out their knee and never be the same.
Right.
Now, right, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2 years of greatness, and then he blows out his knee and he's done.
Finished.
And
you could kind of say that about the Giants with
Saquon.
So with Barkley.
Yeah.
You could put him in that category. He had a great rookie season, blew his knee out midway through the season, and then it hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, I was thinking Carson Wentz, Christian McCaffrey. Guys that were locked.
Yep.
And started out hot.
Ooh,
and got hurt and haven't been able to get back to that form.
Clay's got 19.
Jameis Winston, a guy that everybody says has all the physical tools to be a great quarterback, and just can't get it figured out mentally. Always makes terrible decisions with the ball.
Now they're trusting him with the Saints. That's their boy. So we'll see. I'm curious to see how
they wanted, apparently.
I'm curious to see how that goes, because again, that is one team that Tom Brady has not beat in the regular season as a Buccaneer.
Yeah, it's been a bugaboo over the last.
They're 0-4 in the regular season against the Saints. Now in the playoffs, they're 1-0, but in the regular season,
it matters.
0-4. 0-4. So. With that, gentlemen, we have a couple minutes left. You got anything else you guys want to talk about?
Lpga show and.
All right, the Enhanced Sports Show, Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. Oh boy, see, I had to do it. We got of course, we will continue our coverage with the NHL and NBA playoffs. I'll even run down the all NBA team, first, second, and third. Although I think something is a mistake, but hey, I don't run it, so but you'll be the judge of that. We'll talk Major League Baseball, USFL. We got some boxing, UFC. We'll run down a little bit of the NFL as well, and the USFL. We're gonna say it out loud. Come on. So if you got time between 5 and 7 minutes, East Coast time now, by the way, keep that in mind. Call the number 512-543-4662. I'll repeat it again, 512-543-4662. And it's a great way to help, I think, start off the summer. So if you're not busy, hey, join in.
Yes.
Oh, and of course, indie too. We'll take indie predictions.
We are drawing closer to the month of June.
So you might want to tune in for that, Adam. You might. You might wrap it. You might.
We'll see. Depends on what I'm doing Saturday afternoon.
All right. But for you indie fans out there, I think maybe you might enjoy it.
Yes. And guys, again, thank you guys for joining in. Whoever came in on here through Facebook, thanks to Rich and Justin for commenting. We can actually see your names. Anyone that comments moving forward, please list your names down so we don't have to look at the Facebook page.
Right.
Yes. It's much appreciated. Thank you for.
Yes, state your name,
real
please.
quick, guys. I did develop a group chat for the group page. So if you guys have any ideas that you want us to talk about, throw it up there because we can talk about that. If there's something that we didn't get to talk about and you want us to talk about that next week, we can do that as well. I did open that chat up for that reason to.
Okay, cool.
That wasn't a scam. My account did get hacked. My Facebook account did get hacked. So if you did receive a request from me, that was not me. If you're already friends with me, then you know that wasn't me.
Right.
But at the end of the day, again, thank you for everyone that tuned in. Thank you to these guys that come on here and help me make this great show every Thursday. We will be back next week. It will be the first week in June as we draw closer and closer to obviously football season now is just a short 2 months away.
100 days.
We have I got a notification that today is 100 days until the first USF game. So that's right around the corner. The NBA is winding down. The NHL is winding down. So we have that going on right now. Major League Baseball is kind of about through the first quarter of the season. We're getting close to the first quarter being done. Other than that, we will be back here, guys, next week at the same time at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, everyone, please stay safe out there. Thanks to our men and women of our armed services. Our first
this weekend.
Yes, we have an exciting weekend this weekend with racing. If you are a motorsports fan,
you
got Monaco, Indy, and the Coca-Cola 600 all on the same day. That can't be
no Pepsi Cola.
But and we want to also, again, at the end, extend our thoughts and prayers with the people that were affected by the shooting in Texas. Obviously, the other two as well. I think there was a shooting in California and in Illinois. Again, send prayers to anyone who lost loved ones that way. But until next week, guys. We will be back.
Especially want to remember our military this weekend.
Correct.
Yes. That this is one of those days where remember the men and women who laid their lives down for us.
All gave some. Some gave all.
Situation in Ukraine right now.
Yeah,
that's just that situation right now. So, be happy that we have a military that was able to, we're able to do this every week and stay free and talk and walk and all that stuff. But we love all you guys. Thanks again. We'll be back next week. I am the sports nerd, Brad Walker. This is the Walker Report, part of In the Zone Sports Talk Radio and NGSC Sports. Remember the website, guys. It's ngscsports.com. And we are sponsored by creatingzenspaces.com. If you want to see this show in its entirety and you missed it, head over to our YouTube channel, The Walker Report. It will be up as soon as we get off here. Until then, peace.
Good night, folks.
Night and good luck.